Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's TDengine webinar. Today's topic is deploy edge cloud synchronization with a time series database. And this is part of our webinar series called Time Series Database Essentials. And we host this weekly webinar targeted towards developers or people who are interested to learn more about time series database in general. It is educational and also technical webinar series. And every week we have a topic specifically picked out for you. And this week is the Edge Cloud synchronization. If you want to know more about TDengine webinar series or sign up for more of our educational sessions, please Google TDengine webinar, go to our webinar page and sign up for the topics that you're interested in. All right, without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to our solutions architect, Joel.
Thanks, Jim. My name is Joel Brass, and I'm a solutions architect at TDengine. And today we're going to be talking about Edge Cloud synchronization. I'll give an introduction to what it is, and then I'll show you an overview of what I'll be demoing. Then I'll do the demo, and then we'll have time for a little bit of Q&A. So what is TDengine? TDengine is a time series database that comes in open source, enterprise, and cloud versions. We have a very popular GitHub repo that has been downloaded over 30,000 times. And we have a cloud offering that is offered as a SaaS solution. So today I'll be demoing our real-time edge to cloud synchronization feature. So why does edge cloud synchronization matter? Well, there are challenges in IoT and industrial data management. There are so many new devices that are being created in the Internet of Things throughout the home and throughout industries. And this is creating a lot of data that sometimes is subject to limited connectivity and network failures. There's also local processing that will happen on the edge where the device is, because it's easier to process the data on the device. And we need to ensure data consistency when that data is pushed to a centralized cloud or location for additional analysis and storage. So how does TDengine solve this? Well, you can deploy multiple TDengine instances in a cloud or centralized, you'd have one in a centralized location and then multiple instances that are deployed on the edge as depicted in this diagram here. So you can see on the top, we have our large centralized instances that are receiving data from multiple instances deployed on the edge that are also receiving data from other internal IoT systems, whether that's OPC or MQTT standards. TDengine supports a lot of different types of standards for ingesting industrial and IoT data. And the time series model of TDengine makes it very efficient to store this type of industrial time series data. And we're seeing customers who are generating millions of data points per second across their entire infrastructure. And additionally, you need the auto reconnect feature to backfill data if there is any sort of network failure or problems with connectivity. And this can be the case, though, sometimes on the edge where these devices are. So making this a bit more real world, here's an example of how TDengine has been deployed for a customer where they are using TDengine Cloud that is hosted in the cloud of their choice. And then that is also being connected to their sites. So their different sites are for wind generation and solar farms and wind power generation, as well as the management of all of this happens within TDengine. And these different sites are pushing their data to a centralized location for additional analysis and storage and management. So breaking this down into today's demo, what you can see, we have a similar setup to what a customer would deploy, with TDengine Cloud being our centralized storage location and having 3 different edge locations that will be sending data to the cloud. And here we have our solar farm simulators that are generating data and sending that data. But what happens when there's a network disruption and you lose connectivity to one of those instances? So this will be my demo. And for the demo, we'll be using the Grafana that I showed was connected to in the architecture. So this Grafana is connected directly to the centralized cloud instance and is receiving data from 3 different solar farms: Solar Farm A, Solar Farm B, and Solar Farm C. And we can see they have independent meters. They're independently registering on the solar output heat map, and we have our record counts here that are increasing for each solar farm. We're also tracking temperature at each location down here. And we can see this configured in TDengine. This is in our centralized cloud instance that has 3 different data sources configured, receiving data from each one of the solar farms. So we use the TDengine 2x replication protocol and set the renewables as our target database. So this is the same exact database that is on the source machines. I have the connection details set here, and we can see that the data source is reachable. And here I have 3 different sources configured: Solar Farm A, B, and C. Those are also, you can see here, I'm now on Solar Farm A, which has the similar Explorer that we have in cloud. We have also on our edge instance. So this edge instance is running TDengine Enterprise version in AWS. This particular instance is running in AWS as a part of our demo. So now that we've taken a look at the setup and the data, and we can see a bit more what the interface looks like, let's go back to our dashboard so we can see the demo. So let's say we lose connectivity at one of the sites. What if somebody tripped over a cord or configured a network firewall incorrectly? So I've actually got Solar Farm B sitting here next to me, and I'm going to pull the cord on it. And let's see what happens here on our dashboard as we see current power go to 0, as no power is being fed from Solar Farm A currently, from Solar Farm B into the centralized cloud. This will manifest itself in a couple ways. We already saw that current power went to 0, and our heat map will also stop showing color or heat or data from Solar Farm B. And we can see here that the records for the following minute for Solar Farm A and C are filling in, but B will not. So now the replication features of TDengine are kicking in to backfill the data that is missing, and we can see Solar Farm B records should start kicking up again, and our data will come back online shortly. A second should come in. Oh, there we go. See the light. looks like the data is coming in, and we can tell from the reddish brown here that it's filling in the records. And the number of solar farm B records is increasing again. And so as we can see, as this turned yellow again here in the middle for solar farm B, that represents the records coming back in. And we can see solar power output is back up at solar farm B. And as well as the total output has been restored here on the top far right. So that shows how to keep your edge cloud synchronized when you lose connectivity at the edge. That's it for our demo, Jim. Anything else? Any other questions or that were in the comments?
No, I think it's a great demo, Joe. It showcases, in the event of a network failure, if your network is down, whether it's a few seconds or a few minutes or even a few hours or even days, it doesn't matter as long as you have the data saved in your local edge instance. And what TDengine does is that our replication feature will, once the network is back on, we will do two things, right? Like Joe showed you. First, we'll reconnect your replication, resume that process. And secondly, we will do the backfill. So which means all the data that's been missing for the period of time when the internet is down will be backfilled into your cloud instance automatically, as you can see on the screen. Everything is being backfilled on that. We're not losing any data, and everything is managed in a very automatic way. So that's essentially, what you can expect to have with the TDengine Edge and TDengine Cloud. With the replication and Edge Cloud synchronization, it guarantees that, if anything happens during that communication process, you won't lose data for your you won't lose your historical data, and everything will be set up and backfilled automatically. So that's something that we want to showcase to you. So at this point, I think we can go to the Q&A session. Again, if you have any questions for TDengine or the webinar itself, you can use the chat window to ask those questions. We'll be more than happy to answer these for you.